Bodybuilding is a competitive activity where the goal is to artistically display one's muscle size, shape, and proportion, not just to lift weights. Bodybuilders who are competing adopt a variety of positions with the goal of presenting their physiques from the best angles so that the judges will award them high marks and the audience will applaud in support. Today's video is all about discussing the top 5 legendary posing moments in bodybuilding history. If you continue watching more material like this, do like this video and subscribe for more updates. The contender who displays the most poise, leanness, and muscularity on stage ultimately takes home the Sando prize. Each contestant spends a great deal of time and energy planning their performance in the hopes that it will get the audience cheering. Athletes have come up with inventive and exciting techniques to make their biceps pop, their quads bristle, and their shoulders span the stage over the lengthy history of men's bodybuilding, which dates back to the first competition in 1965. In 1965, the inaugural competition took place. These bodybuilders were all fierce competitors in their own right, but they are best remembered for the manner in which they displayed their physiques to the rest of the world. Let's get started. Number 5. Frank Zane. Frank Zane is regarded as a legend in the world of physique competition. In 1979, he won the Olympia 3 times, twice as the lightweight champion and once as the overall champion. Even more impressively, in a head-to-head contest at the 1968 Mr. Universe pageant, Zane defeated Arnold Schwarzenegger. Only 3 individuals, including him, have ever been successful in outlasting the Austrian oak in an athletic competition. Zane's entire success was significantly influenced by the dexterity with which he posed. The stomach vacuum, in which Zane would draw his abdominal muscles in toward his spine so that his waist looked to be nearly non-existent, was his go-to pose. The vacuum would later develop into a crucial component of the current classic physique division at the Mr. Olympia competition as a tribute to Zane's legacy and the impact he had on the sport. He made the decision to retire from competition in 1983. Number 4. Charles Benfato. Even though they have never won a professional competition, some athletes become famous. Francis Benfato became a favorite among the audience because he consistently appeared to be striking the ideal position. Every move he made on stage was purposefully chosen to draw attention to a different part of his body, and he gave just as much consideration to his transitions between poses as he did to the individual poses themselves. Benfato was especially committed to keeping his movements in time with the music, synchronizing his muscle contractions with the beats of the music as he performed. He played professional sports between 1985 and 1993. He briefly retired before making a comeback to compete in the 2006 Australian Grand Prix, where he placed 6th. Number 3. Lee Labrada. When Lee Labrada was at the pinnacle of his career, he was one of the athletes who had the greatest amount of success competing on the professional circuit. Labrada went pose for pose with Lee Haney at the Mr. Olympia competition from the late 1980s through the early 1990s, in an effort to dethrone Haney as the winner and win the title for himself. Labrada was the man who competed the second to last in both 1989 and 1990, although he was unsuccessful in his attempts to win the championship in either of those years. Labrada was very intent on making his transitions, which consisted of moving from one stance to the next, look as natural as they possibly could. He paid a great deal of attention to this detail. At the Mr. Olympia competition, he was able to place in the top 4 for the past 7 years in a row because of his thorough preparation and the fact that he came up with his own unique bow and arrow posture. It is possible to see the influence that Labrada has had on contemporary posing in his son Hunter, who competed in the 2021 Mr. Olympia and finished in 4th place, as well as in competitors in the classic physique division, such as Terence Ruffin, who competed in the event and finished in 2nd place. Lee Labrada earned a name for himself throughout his career in bodybuilding, and more recently, he has been very successful in the field of fitness nutrition. A recent post that Lee Labrada made on social media featured side-by-side pictures of his physical appearance when he was 28 years old and again when he was 51 years old. He used these pictures to demonstrate how long he has lived. Lee Labrada was successful in placing in the top 4 at the Mr. Olympia competition for 7 years in a row. Labrada has no intention of allowing his physique to deteriorate, despite the fact that it has been over a quarter of a century since he last competed. Despite being retired, he continues to keep himself active by working out frequently and lifting a significant amount of weight. In addition to his attractive physique, Lee is well known for the extraordinary attention to detail that he pays when it comes to striking poses. The year before, Lee got together with Terrence Ruffin, who had already won the Arnold Classic twice, and they worked on their poses together. The importance of matching timeless music with any subsequent posing routine was a special area of concern that Lee emphasized. This was a unique area of concern. Labrada has always been willing to put in the work that was required to keep his physique in top shape, in addition to mentoring the next generation of bodybuilders. Even after several decades, he has not wavered in his dedication to maintaining a healthy body. Number 2. Shawn Ray. Athletes have been known to carve their names into the annals of bodybuilding history despite the fact that they have never been awarded a Sando. In the history of the International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness, the only competitions that Shawn Ray has ever been victorious in are the Ironman Pro in 1990 and the Arnold Classic in 1991. Having said that, from the year 1990 to the year 2001, when he eventually decided to hang up his gloves, he finished the Olympia in the top 6 places on a constant basis. The fact that he came in second place in 1996, despite the fact that a lot of people believe he should have beaten Dorian Yates, makes his finish an outlier in the annals of history. There has never been anyone quite like Ray when it comes to striking stances. On stage, he was steady and methodical, striking poses to music that was significantly slower than that of his rivals, and showing very little expression other than the occasional twitch or grimace. His music was also significantly slower than that of his rivals. Even after he retired, Ray remained involved in the sport, but his reputation as one of the sport's all-time great posers will continue to be remembered in the annals of bodybuilding history. Ray has competed in almost 30 major bodybuilding competitions, and the only time he did not place in the top 5 was the very first time. Ray has been featured in 6 video documentaries since he signed his first professional bodybuilding sponsor contract in 1988. These documentaries include lifestyles of the Fit and Amp, Famous, a biopic, Final Countdown, a contest preparation video for the Olympia in 1998, Inside an Amp, Out Behind the Muscle, which takes a look at Ray's day-to-day life on the pro circuit, To the Extreme, a training video, and Best of Shawn Ray, History of Shawn Ray. The film Fitness After 40, which combines biographical and documentary elements, focuses on Ray's life after his competitive days, during which he got married and had his first kid while also getting back in shape and riding horses again. He is mentioned in Bill Dobbins and Arnold Schwarzenegger's book, The New Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding, which was published in 2004. In addition, Ray is the author of a book titled The Shawn Ray Way, which is a manual for aspiring bodybuilders. In the history of bodybuilding, Ray has appeared on more covers of Flexible magazine than any other bodybuilder, and he has also been featured in many fitness and bodybuilding magazines all over the world. Ray hosted bodybuilding events for ESPN as a pundit for a total of 8 years while also serving as a co-host for Flex magazine Workout on ESPN for a period of 5 years. Number 1. Michael Anthony. One of the few persons who truly understood the value of spectacle was Melvin Anthony. He won several competitions as a professional in the 2000s, and a large part of his success may be attributed to his flair for the dramatic on stage. Anthony was a chameleon of a poser. He could be outgoing or subdued and was keenly aware of when he needed to amp things up to keep the audience interested. The judges and audience would be pleased by his interspersed dancing and acrobatic acts, but the other competitors who had to follow him would be put in danger. Melvin Anthony, a former IFBB pro bodybuilder, was detained on January 13 in Harrison County, Mississippi, and charged with delivery of a prohibited substance, possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute, and possession of a firearm following a felony conviction. The drug ecstasy, according to a source, was the controlled substance, however this has not been verified. On January 19, he received 2 concurrent 10-year sentences after entering a guilty plea to the first 2 offenses. Anthony is currently incarcerated in the Central Mississippi Correctional Facility with a projected release date of January 7, 2027. Anthony was born in 1969, not 1973, as he previously claimed. This is the end of the video. If you liked today's video, please share your ideas in the comments below, and don't forget to share it with others. Be careful. Have a wonderful day.